And we are live. What's good, Charles? Your man, Bill Saint. Welcome. I really want to know podcast, man. How y'all doing out there? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I am checking the audio out, guys. I'm getting some nasty static on my end. I don't really hear it on your end out there. I am hearing it. I am hearing it on your end out there, but we're gonna power through it. We're gonna power through it. It's always something in it. It's always something. What I'm going to do real quick, guys, before we get started, before everyone jumps in, I am going to just re-upload or just restart my uh, soundboard here, the Rodecaster Pro. I'm just going to reset that and see what happens. So just bear with me, guys. Here. All right. That sounds a little better on my end. We'll wait to see if you can hear it out there. All right. I think we were able to fix that. Boy, that was something. I'm like, what is that noise? I don't know, man. You guys know I'm a little bit paranoid when it comes to YouTube, bro. They after the content, man. They don't like what we're talking about. So today, man, we're gonna do a follow-up from yesterday's show. We were talking about Akash Singh and his wife and the whole situation with that. Um, the tie-in with Fresh and Fit. Found a couple videos. I found the video I was looking for yesterday. It was actually it was another MTR video. And MTR even did a third video on this having to do something with Myron Gaines. So we're gonna hit up all of it, bro. We're gonna hit up all of it. You feel me? Just to see what happens. Um, yeah, and we're gonna talk about this, man. And I just want to start by saying this, bro. This isn't an attempt to belittle or mock Akash, to talk trash, to what I'm saying, to throw shade, to throw him under the bus. None of that, bro. This is a learning opportunity. Why do we talk about the famous people? It's because that's the one common denominator. You got a famous person like Akash, you got someone like Travis Hunter, you got someone like uh, uh, Shannon Sharp out there. You can see what's going on. It's there to see, and you can learn from it. You can just kind of say, "Hey, man, look at this. This is not unique to them because they're successful. This is what everyone has to deal with. So just understand that this is part of the game." So we're gonna get back into this, man. We're gonna finish what we started. I found a couple videos that are very fascinating. And bro, let's talk about it, man. This is dating in today's world, bro. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed, man. So hey, bro, I'm always talking about YouTube, bro. I really think the algorithm goes after and really tries to stifle some platforms, especially when they're small. It's best, the best time to get them is, delete them when they're still in the crib. Don't get them when they start walking. When they take off, it's gonna be harder to stop them. I do believe that stuff is going on. I've been talking about it lately, and then all of a sudden I do a video and it's like it does like regular numbers. Like the video we did yesterday, we had like a couple hundred people watch that. It's like, all right, cool. It did like regular numbers. But what I noticed in the chat, at one point we had like 20 people in the chat and there was no activity in the chat. So as we do this one, I'm gonna be, talking when I see folks jump in. Yo, if you one of my day ones, do me a favor and put something in the chat just so we can see it's working. There we go. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you because I'm just like, what the hell? Appreciate you, brother. Phil Brown's in the building. Like, who are bro? I see you, man. They're born. And of course, Dr. B is in the building, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure. Watching from work. Hey, man, you pay attention to what you're doing at work. Dr. B is a real doctor, guys. So I appreciate you, bro. Don't get yourself in trouble, man. Don't, take care of them people. But that's just one of the things I noticed. Like, man, Joe, we had some brother Pitt was in the chat. Man, Joe was in the chat, and all of a sudden it stopped. And I'm just assuming now that it was just, everyone was listening to the topic, which is good. That's the whole point. That's why we do this, man. We do this so people can, listen and possibly learn. I wish this technology existed when I was a teenager. I mean, just to be able to get this perspective from just random people all over the world. I mean, it can only help you get better, bro. You know what I mean? It can only help you get better. You know what I mean? And Phil, we got a cool ass Marine in, man. Hey, happy belated Veterans Day, Marine. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, man. I'm a paratrooper, but I got nothing but respect for Marines, man. I love the way you guys pray.
Pray! This is my rifle. But this one is mine.
I'm sure you know the rest of that prayer. Shout out to you, fam. But yeah, man, you see what's going on with dating. You see what's going on with, family structure and everything in America in particular, bro. We're having problems. And it all ties into the quote unquote male loneliness issue. It also ties into men going their own way. It ties into men not engaging with women. All this stuff is tied in together. And what it is just a bunch of dudes who are figuring things out. I'm here to tell you that the vast majority of men, I put it to you this way. I've never met a guy who didn't want to be with a woman, who didn't want to be with a good woman. Never met one, not one single dude, never. I've heard dudes talk about it and talk crazy and say all these negative things about women. Then you find out that they married the wrong woman. Like, bro, man, I can't believe all women are this and all women that, blah, blah, blah. Well, what happened, man? What's your story? Well, I married this girl. Well, what did she do? Oh, she was a stripper when I met her. Oh, and that didn't work out? Okay. Like, all right. I hate to break it to you, bro, but the whole world ain't like Pretty Woman. That movie, yeah, that was a movie right there. That was fantasy right there, man. It don't work like that. Like, you dealing with a stripper, bro, man, big old communist red flag right there, bro. Like, what are you doing? Can it be done? Yeah. How should you do that? Have fun. Don't fall in love. What do I say over here, man? Keep your emotions in check. Keep your emotions to yourself. Don't fall in love with a sex worker, bro. It's not going to go well. It just not. It's like running blindfold through a minefield, bro. It's tough enough going through a minefield with your eyes open. But you close your eyes and blindfold yourself and just go run through a minefield. Guess what? Something's going to go boom. All right? It's not going to go well for you. Yeah, you can't even do it old school style, like pull out your bayonet and just start sticking it in the ground looking for the mines and slowly move through the minefield. Like, bro. So that's why I'm happy this technology exists. That's why I'm happy we can put these videos out here. And again, I really want to reemphasize, man, this is not shade at Akash Singh. I've never met dude, but we have friends, mutual friends in common. I respect the fact that that guy's a comedian, has done what he has done. That dude has made it from the open mic ranks of the comic world, the comedic world, to the highest of heights, bro. And he still has room to grow. The guy's a multimillionaire, bro. That's nothing but hard work, right? As a comic, man, that is hard work. So he was focused on his craft. Yeah, he's going to be lacking in other things. Most successful dudes have no idea how to holler at women. They don't know anything about that game. They don't, and they get caught up. And I can understand why, bro. You focused on what you're doing. You finally make it. You got to the finish line. Look at all these beautiful women laying around at the finish line. You know what I mean? They choose you, right? Because they all want you, but then you choose the one you want, and then bam, system failure. And that could be where Akash is right now. Now, we're going to get into this, and this, it could go multiple ways, but it just doesn't look good for now. So, we're definitely going to get into this, man. Let's check this out. So the first video we're going to watch, this is from Ace Nate. I've never watched this brother's content before, but he's speaking on this, and I was like, you know what? Let's jump on this. I would definitely say that Ace is in the manosphere, Mano Swamp. I would definitely say that that's where he is. That's probably what his content kind of hovers around. Seems like just a regular fella, like a dude who's out here, knows what he's doing this thing, got on YouTube, and is able to, be successful. So we're going to start with a video from him. We're going to move over to MTR, and then we're going to finish up with Rich Cooper. And the first two videos are about Akash and his wife, and then Rich Cooper is just. I want you guys to watch this real quick Rich Cooper video when he talks about disrespect and dealing with disrespect and stuff like that. Fellas, you got to understand something. When your wife, significant other, girlfriend, or whatever, when she begins to disrespect you, especially in public, bro, you're on real bad footing, man. Like it's coming to an end, bro. Like y'all relationship is about to come to an end. A lot of guys are like, well, what can I do at that point? Honestly, once she begins to disrespect you, man, it's not much you can do. Again, relationships aren't like Hollywood, man. They're not scripted movies. I can't write you a happy ending. She ain't into you, homie. And she's tired of fooling herself. She doesn't like what she is in, the situation she's in. And take the money out of it. She just wants to move on. If there's money involved, it's like, well, shit, she's ready to go, and she's going to take she's going to take half of your wealth with her. Especially if you don't have a prenup. Shout out to James Sexton. Just get a prenup. Doesn't make any sense not to have a prenup, right? So let's watch this video with Ace Nate talking about what's going on publicly with Akash and his wife. Here we go.
I was on X yesterday and I saw a post about Akash Singh's wife. And if you don't know who he is, he's the co-host on the podcast Flagrant, which made popular by Andrew Schultz. Well, it turns out Akash's wife has her own podcast where she's out here saying some wild, degenerate stuff, fantasizing about other men's penis size, who she would sleep with if she had a hall pass, past hookups with Tinder dates, and a lot more. And on this channel, we talk a lot about how so many of these guys still choose to marry women like this. It blows our minds. We always ask, who are these men? Why are they marrying these women? Well, Akash is one of those men. And when I saw this, it reminded me actually of the time that Flagrant had Fresh and Fit on their show. And there's a clip I'm going to play for you where Akash gets up on his high horse and talking down to them and calling their podcast corny and all that. And I find that pretty ironic considering the content of his wife's podcast. I mean, maybe he would call his wife's podcast corny as well. Although I have a feeling he wouldn't be bold enough to press her on it and try to change it. Wouldn't want to have some self-respecting boundaries. Otherwise, he would be, insecure, toxic, whatever. But whether he admits it or not, right, his wife is out of control. And he's clearly the beta bucks, and she makes sure that everyone knows it too.
So we talked a little bit yesterday about that Fresh and Fit interview on Flagrant, right? How that came about. Flagrant was saying stuff about Fresh and Fit. At the time, Fresh and Fit was like king of the jungle. They were doing their thing. They were peaking. They were firing on all cylinders. Flagrant had something to say about it. Myron the Fresh reaches out to Andrew Schultz. Schultz was like, hey, why don't you guys come onto the platform? You can defend yourself and we'll, whatever. We'll have a talk about it. Myron the Fresh went to New York. They did it. Right. And, the interview was, like I said, it was like a really silly form of good cop, bad cop kind of thing. They really came in there to, basically just beat up. It was a hit piece. They were doing their best to have a hit piece and just kind of beat up on Myron and Fresh. They didn't want to have a serious discussion about the current dating landscape. They didn't want to talk about that. Right. And Akash was leading the charge. Right. And you're going to hear here in a second, you're going to hear like Akash say some things, bro, talking about his woman and, his situation when he met her and all this kind of stuff. And it is just like, bro, I remember watching the interview when it happened. And I remember thinking to myself, this dude's in trouble. Like, this dude's in trouble. And like I said, he's working hard. He's doing his thing. He's making his fortune in comedy. I'm here to tell you guys, the stand-up world is very, very, very tough, very, very cutthroat. It's really hard to get in there. And it's really hard to be successful. Like, to make real money, man, it takes a lifetime just to get to the point. where you're making great money. Look at someone like Sebastian Maniscalco. Like Sebastian is killing it right now, killing it. But when I was coming up in comedy, he was just getting to the point where, he was just starting to crush in the clubs, going up. He's working as a waiter. He's still doing his time, doing his material, trying to get stuff done with his agent and manager, trying to get on the night show circuit. He's doing all this stuff. Now, like, bro, Sebastian is probably one of the highest paid comics in the business right now today. That dude is top of the hill. But it took him a lifetime to get there. And he did it faster than most. Right? Sepp still hasn't had like a major movie. Like he's starred in some movie. He just had his first movie he was in, I think, big movie with Robert De Niro, I think it was. So it's really hard to make it in that business, bro. So if anyone gets to the point where they're sustaining their own life, like they can pay their bills off of comedy, or they get to the point where they're making millions, like someone like Akash, Andrew Schultz, it's like, bro, you got to give them all of their credit because they earned. That's a Don DeMarco if you can pull it.
Don DeMarco.
If you can pull that off, man, that's a Don DeMarco for sure. So let's watch these clips and let's look at what he was saying. This was about 3 years ago. At the time of filming, I think Akash was probably married 2 years. I think he's been married about 5 years now. But I think at the time that they shot that video with Fresh and Fit, I think Akash had been married 2 years, I think.
But before I play her podcast, I want us to first look at how Akash was criticizing Fresh and Fit, talking down to them in their show, just so you can get a better understanding of what's going on here. And then make sure you stick around to the end to see all of this because it's absurd. And also, throughout this entire video, I'm going to be interrupting more than I usually do because I'm sure if these guys see this video, they're going to get upset, try to get the video taken down, and abuse YouTube system like many other people have tried and failed to do to me. So
I've had brand new YouTubers that hit me up, people who just hit 100,000 and shut me down. I guess I don't have the reach or the ability to get YouTube to respond to these silly ass claims. So I know why old boy is saying what he's saying. I deal with the same thing. That's why I break up videos. When I respond to something, we're always stopping it and I'm always talking because it is transformative. It is fair use. I am just adding to it and giving my comment, giving commentary and all that. And I wonder if Schultz will do something like that. I would be surprised if Andrew Schultz is like, yeah, let's try to get that taken down. But I mean, I don't know. Like just Schultz, he just seems to be the kind of guy that's like, man, we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be fun. They can make a video, we'll make a video. It is what it is. I don't know if they will try to get it taken down, but it's feelings involved, bro. And Akash, maybe he would try to get something like that taken down. I mean, again, his feelings are involved. But anyway, let's get into it.
I'm going to follow very strict fair use rules in this one so that we can make sure that doesn't happen.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. Those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots.
So Akash is here expressing his outrage that Fresh and Fit have stated their preference is to not date black women, something they've been very vocal about. Clearly, this upsets him. Let's see why he's so upset about this.
And I'm not quite sure why he was upset about that. I remember that as well. And what Myron and Fresh have always said historically, especially when it comes to black women, like, yeah, man, we mess with black women. We just don't prefer to. And then they'll give their reasons why. And then, I've seen women come through their platform, all races. And yeah, it's a lot of ratchet women that come through there, not just black, but Latin, Asian, white. Fresh went through a thing with this Chinese woman, probably one of the most ratchet, gold digging, baby trapping women I've ever seen in my life. It was like, damn, she's Asian. Right. I know that Myron and Fresh both was smash sisters and probably still will to this day. Like if the woman is cool and, she's elegant and regal and all that good stuff, then yeah, they're going to holler at her. So it's not like they're on some, anti, like, I'm just, not going to deal with them type shit. So when the Akash said that, I was kind of like, what are you talking about? But again, we live in an era of clips. So I guarantee you Akash had never watched at that point, never watched a full episode of Fresh and Fit, and he probably still hasn't. On the other hand, Andrew Schultz probably has watched at least one full episode of Fresh and Fit. So anyway, let's keep going.
If you're saying, hey, I don't generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny.
Akash only dates Brown. Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman.
is like loyal through and through.
Okay. So apparently Akash.
And that right there, I remember hearing that part in the interview. I'm like, yo, he's only smashed. He's only been intimate with one woman in his life, and he married her. Okay. That could be a good thing if he was the only man she's ever been intimate with, ever known. If they were both virgins and got together, bro, that could be a very, very good thing. That might be the special sauce that gets you in that relationship, you know what I mean, to the end, riding off in the sunset with your woman, because you're the only man that she wants. You're the only woman that you want. You guys have never been with anyone else. And bro, if you got that, if now you got a woman who she has the man she wants. She doesn't want any other man. No other man knows her the way you know her. That could be a great thing. It's an amazing thing if you can get it. The biggest problem is in America, bro, it's really hard to find women who are quote unquote virgins or pure, however you want to put it. Especially once women go to college, bro, like in today's world, high school boys and girls, they're not being intimate like that. They're not smashing like they did when I was in school. But in college, man, they're going for broke. They're getting it all the way in. So if you have a woman who's very experienced and you have a man who is not experienced, more than likely she's going to run over that guy. More than likely. And that guy is going to ignore all the warning signs, every red flag. He's going to ignore it because his emotions are out, right? Sex is powerful magic, bro. It's powerful medicine. And that what the and that what the Native Americans would call it, powerful medicine, bro. So you've never been with a woman, you're in love with this person, then you guys you become intimate, and then for him it's like this is it. But for her, she's like, his sex was horrible. I don't like that. But he knows some wealthy people. He might become famous, or my parents like him. You know what I mean? So it just changes, bro. It changes. So Akash met this young girl. She's younger than he is. He had never been with a woman before, saving himself for marriage. But it doesn't sound like she was doing the same. So he's setting himself up for failure. And this is the kind of stuff that the red pill talks about all the time. Like, bro, you got to be careful. You want to be experienced so you can weed out certain type women. Like it's certain things you want to do, and you should be able to see, and then you can avoid. But instead, he's mad at Myron and calling him corny and saying all this stuff. And it's like, bro, meanwhile, you're the guy who really should be listening to these corny dudes, as you put it, because these guys are giving you game that you need that can save you some serious problems down the road.
Only dates brown women, and only one woman for that matter, his now wife, who talks about other men she's been with on her podcast. So she was his first, apparently. Yikes.
And I understand it's not as important for y'all, but as an Indian, there's not a lot of us who are famous. So whether you like it or not, people are looking at you as a role model.
So he brings himself into it. He says, I'm an Indian. Not a lot of us are famous. Therefore, people see me and you guys as role models.
Bro, there's a lot of famous Indians in India, right? I mean, there's a lot of Pakistanis and a lot of famous Pakistanis in Pakistan. Like, what is he talking about? Like, what? The problem is he's talking about this role model stuff. He's probably got a lot of friends. Akash probably has a lot of friends that was telling him like, yo, you need to listen to these dudes. Like, you're about to make a mistake, bro. His friends probably saw the problem with the girl that he allowed himself to fall in love with. And was like, they're like, bro, what are you doing? You need to listen to these dudes. And he listens to a little bit and he's like, no, because it goes against his core beliefs. It's like trying to tell someone who is, 100% religious that God doesn't exist. They're going to fight you tooth and nail on that. And it doesn't matter what kind of evidence you can provide. I can sit there and I can sit here. If I could sit here and just give you the math on it, like, look, man, I'm just telling you, here's the proof. God is not what you think he is. God was an astronaut, crash landed on this planet, right? Created our race and then fixed his spaceship and left. You're gonna no, that's not it. No. If once you're all in on something, no one can pull you out of it, bro. Right? You're along for the ride until you finally crash out. Because at some point, bro, you can't run from the math. At some point, the science hits you right in the face. It's like, this is what it is. Akash is reaching that point. You chose the wrong woman, bro. Now look.
Or was he saying the Indians look at Fresh and Fit as role models? I would say the first one makes more sense.
You guys have established yourselves as role models, from simps to pimps, which is another motto I find kind of corny, but I looked into what you guys are about. And a lot of the shit is just childish, which is fine if you want to be funny. We just talk about how doctors ain't shit for 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. We are not in any way life coaching. We're not in any way trying to help men outside of, hey, come have a laugh for a couple hours. Mm-hmm.
So Akash just got done saying he's a role model because so few Indians are famous. And it now seems he's walking that back and said, actually, we're just clowns who make people laugh. But where's the joke here, right? He seems to be very serious right now.
If you're going to paint yourself as life coaches and then say shit like, my preference is, which is honestly bullshit. It is, I don't want to date black girls. That's the way every black dude that white girls says it. I've dated black girls in my life. All right, bro. Who the fuck hasn't except me?
So he's mad that their preference is to not date black girls, and then somehow ties that back to him also not having dated black girls. Perhaps his preference is to also not date black girls and only Indians.
You know what I mean? Everybody gonna dabble in everything. It is the mentality that I have an issue with. And Alex is upset with the specific words, true, but underneath it, he's upset with the mentality. And a lot of stuff you guys say in general, I think is stuff that's kind of childish.
Wait till Akash watches his wife's podcast. I wonder how he would describe that. I have a feeling he condones his wife talking about other men and the size of their penises on her show.
I saw a clip where you were like, oh, the nuclear family's falling apart. What do you do? I don't get married. Just don't get married. You're actually trying to help men, or you talking to incels who are 18 years old? That's some shit you say to college. I'm going to turn you from a simp to a pimp. All right, bro. Can we grow up? You guys are self-help. You are, hey, we're trying to help men. So either we're funny or help men, and be real and be honest with yourselves and don't have any.
I mean, bro, why can't you do both? Why can't you say funny shit? You know, marriage in the West is destroyed, bro. Everyone knows it. Like, divorce has destroyed that. Like, why take those chances? And for someone like Akash and even Andrew Schultz, y'all saw yesterday when we showed that clip when they had James Sexton on there, and he's like, isn't it fun to take a chance? Like, hey, don't sign a prenup. Every time I get into arguments, like, I could lose half my shit. That's them trying to use comedy to override facts. Like, bro, man, you have one of the most successful divorce lawyers in the country, one of the highest paid lawyers in the game, telling you, like, marriage is broken. It doesn't work as a product. It is defective. Like if you can make a case in law that this is defective and should be removed from the public, or if not fixed. This guy's telling you, like, yeah, bro, you got to at least get a prenup, man. Like, marriage doesn't work. You know, you're talking over a 50% failure rate. And you got people out there that are like, no, it's not 50%. 2025, it's 42% divorce rate. Like, bro, okay. Right? That's still horrible. If I accept those numbers, that's still horrible. And those are the people who actually divorce. What about the people who just never get divorced and they separate? What about the people who live together and they hate each other and they doing it for whatever reason? Like, bro, at the end of the day, when you look at marriage, you're probably looking at maybe 25% success rate, maybe, and that's being generous, of people who like go the distance and all that. I think it's way less than that. I think it's inside of 10%, to be honest with you. That's just my take on it. But, you know, Akash is on his high horse. He's saying all these things. He has no experience in that dating world. He has no experience of what's going on. How do we know he doesn't have any experience? Look who he married. Look who we married, bro. Let's continue.
Ego, like, no, I have a preference. Be honest. Let's just be mature about what we feel. And part of that maturity is, yeah, it was a bad joke. I don't actually feel exactly that way.
So Akash gets triggered by Fresh and Fit's motto, their preference to not date black women, and by the fact that they present themselves as helping men, while also stating their own preferences. He sees that as a contradiction. He says, You can't claim to be life coaches and then say what he considers to be corny. So it seems like he's trying to make a distinction here. You can either be funny or you can be serious.
I think Akash, and I agree with what Ace is saying here. I think Akash is mad because young guys are listening to men in the Mano Swamp, right? The red pill message is getting out there, and guys are at least thinking about it. So when someone like Akash runs out here, it's like, bro, you are about to just run into the wall. You about to be like the number one crash dummy. You about to crash all the way out. I think that there are people out there, someone like Akash is mad because other dudes are thinking like, hey man, I don't know about this. I don't know about this, bro. Fresh and fit, they're corny. Or what about James Sexton? What about Rich Cooper, bro? Right, there's a problem out here, man. Scott Galloway is saying there's a problem out here. Why I gotta run into this? Like, what I mean? And someone can claim to be a life coach or offer you advice or whatever. Doesn't mean it has to be good advice. Right? It's up to you as an individual listening to take what works for you, right? Take the meat, leave the bones. No diddy. Right? But it's just like, who says that fresh and fit is the end all to be all, right? You look at Akash and his jokes, like some of the stuff like comics do. Comics like, oh, I'm just telling jokes. No, it's a lot of real life situations in them jokes. As a comic, you're going to go out there, you're going to have some problems with people after the show. You might have some problems with people while you're on stage. And I ain't talking about hecklers neither. Hecklers are one thing, but you just got other people, bro. Like you might have to fight on stage, man. You might have to fight your way out of the club. You're saying, well, I'm just here. I'm just telling jokes, man. Everybody ain't taking your joke as that. And again, as a comic doesn't mean that I'm a funny comic. Right? It just doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that I'm funny every time you see me. I've had some great gigs, but it's always somebody that's mad. Always. It's just people, it's really damaged folks out here, bro. So I'm not going to hold fresh and fit to some sort of standard in much the same way that I'm not going to hold a comic to any other standard other than they got to be funny. You know what I mean? Or they just got to try. You know what I mean? Or at least they're trying. I give them that. So I see some life coaches. I see some people on YouTube. I see some, whatever's going on, like fresh and fit, their message. I don't have a problem with their dating message. I don't fuck with their political message. And Myron's message, Myron's politics is way too right for me. Fresh doesn't really have American politics on his mind, really. But Myron's politics is way too right for me, so I don't fuck with that. But when they talking about the sexual marketplace, spot on. Spot on.
But I don't really see what Akash is doing that's funny here, right? Where's the joke? Why are you claiming to be, I guess, a childish podcast and then trying to give an adult lesson, right? Pick one, right?
Great point.
According to his logic.
That's a great point.
He seems very serious. He seems triggered.
He is.
Like, why are you taking yourself so seriously, bro? Why are you virtue signaling?
He is.
Why are you morally posturing? I thought you were a clown here to make people laugh.
Facts.
I didn't think Flagrant was a serious podcast. Why are you being all serious? So you can see, like, it's just a weird thing he said. There's a contradiction there. But
damn, Ace made a valid point there. No one in the world I never taken Flagrant serious. Just like Brilliant Idiots, that podcast with Schultz and Charlemagne. It's just like they live up to the name, Brilliant Idiots. Like sometimes they'll say some things that's absolutely brilliant, and then they'll follow it up with a bunch of just bullshit idiot stuff, man. Like the idiocracy, like it's damn. Like, bro, y'all really are idiots. But boy, you just made a good point there. So when I look at Flagrant, I see a bunch of dudes who, hey, bro, quit trying to be a teenager, man. You're telling Fresh and Fit to quit being corny, but it's like, bro, y'all corny as fuck over here on Flagrant, man. Y'all ain't serious. Y'all bring on serious people and y'all can't even have a serious conversation. They had Mom Donnie on there, and it was like, damn, Mom Donnie was like, man, trying to have a serious conversation here, man, trying to win this election in New York. I had Pete Buttigieg on there, and they were like cracking gay jokes. Yeah, there's something they do is like, bro, so you can do all that, Akash, but you got a problem with Fresh and Fit? It just doesn't make any sense. And then to confront them on your platform, like, bro, who takes your platform serious? Talking about Flagrant. What they do is Flagrant is not supposed to be serious. You know what I mean? So when I saw that, I was like, and mind you guys, this was all before they started bringing on the politicians and all that. This was when Flagrant was still just out here, just being forever, being the Peter Pan, the Neverland boys or whatever, the Lost Boys. They just out here. I don't ever want to grow up type shit on some craziness. And I ain't mad at it. That's what it is. Scam Likely in the building. What's good, fam? Like depth coaches telling what not to do, bro. Like, man, Fresh and Fit gives a lot of good advice, man. Like the Mano Swamp, you can find some good advice. It's just up to you to listen to it, right? And if you don't want to listen to it, that's fine. I ain't, because they give bad advice too. But like I said, I align. We've talked about this. Me and Scam, we know each other in real life. We've talked about this in real life. And it's just like, all right, bro, if that's what you're going to do it. I ain't mad at you. But don't come back to me crying when she wrecks you, bro. Because that one right there, that chick right there you talking about you in love with, bro, everybody done smashed her, man. You about to marry her? Good luck. Do I want to come to the wedding? Nah, I won't come to this one. Right? That's something I always tell my friends, man. They invite me to a wedding. I'm like, I'll come to the next one. And they start laughing. They get offended. But sure enough, they get divorced and then they get married again. And I show up at the second wedding. I always man on my word. I'll come there like, told you I'll come to your next one. They just sit there with their head down. Yeah, you didn't want to listen. Man, Jail's in the building. What's good, fam? Our favorite Green Beret in the house, man. What's that? Let's continue.
The bottom line is he's triggered. And I think deep down he knows his wife has a bit of a past. So in his mind, he's probably thinking, hey, everybody experiments. Everybody's been with a black woman, probably even my wife. So stop being corny. Stop appealing to incels, right? That's what he says. And keep in mind, people like Akash are quick to throw around labels that are meant to belittle and shame others, terms like incel and so on. So perhaps we should feel just as free to describe his wife in whatever way best fits what we're seeing.
I stopped short of that. I mean, I'm here to try to use this as a teachable moment. But hey, all's fair, bro. Like if someone starts popping rounds at you, bro, you're more than welcome to return fire. Me, I'm like, I'm not here to sit here and say, your wife is a 304. If she is, if she isn't, it doesn't matter. It just, what I want to do is, hey guys, learn from this man's mistake. Learn from this man's mistake. He was married to this woman probably 2 years when Fresh and Fit came in there. Like, you're done. No prenup. Like, dude, you're done. You're done. Like, bro, this is not going to look good for you. You probably got 7 years. Right. So where are we at? We're at year 5, year 6, somewhere in there. Like, now we got these rough waters. Like, dude, I will not be surprised if they're divorced by year 7. And it's not that I'm wishing it on them. I don't wish that on no one because it's hurt. That hurts, man. To lose your relationship, right? To lose the woman you love, especially from a Kosh point of view, never been with a woman before. That was the one, right? It messed up. What he had envisioned in his head is like, I'm going to marry this one woman. I'm going to live this life and it's going to be perfect, right? The fairy tale, bro. The Disney fairy tale. Speaking of which, if you go down into the in the remarks or comments or whatever it's called, I did 2 ebooks. I'm doing a series of ebooks, dudes, guys. It's going to be like at least 11, maybe 15 ebooks. The first 2 are done. The first one is entitled Hypergamy. The second one is called The Disney Fairy Tale. So those 2 ebooks are free. As I continue to do more of them, I'm probably going to ask for like a small piece of money, man, because it does take time to put those together, even though the books are, just a few pages or whatever, but it takes time to put together. So I think I'm gonna, for book 3 and up, I'm probably gonna charge like $5 a book or whatever, man. Just trying to make a little bit of money here. But the first 2 are definitely free. If you're my day ones, if you read the first 2 and you want to read more, if you're my day ones and my day ones are the people with the wrench behind their names, you don't have to pay for any of the books. If you're like, hey man, I like this book. I see you got another one out there on whatever, like Red Pill Finance. I'll send you that book. If you're one of my day ones, I'll send it to you at no cost. But for everyone else, hey, I'm trying to make a little bit of money here. And then once we start the Patreon and all that, which is probably going to be first of the year, once we start the Patreon and start doing that kind of stuff, the Patreon members will get the books at no cost because they're paying to be a part of the Patreon. But everyone else, if you want to check out the books 3 through 11 or 15, it's only going to be like $5 a book. It's not going to be much. I still got to figure out how to collect the money. Y'all know I'm old and behind. I'm old school. I'm like, oh man, just send me the money. But now I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that. But do me a favor, check it out. It's in the description below. That's the word I was trying to remember. It's in the description below right now. It's 2 ebooks. One is on hypergamy. That's book 1. Book 2 is on the Disney fairy tale. And Akash is caught up in the Disney fairy tale. This is what I wanted to talk about. Akash is caught up in it, bro. And it's going to be, this is going to hurt him so much, man. I just hope the brother learns from this and becomes stronger on the other side. I hope he doesn't do anything crazy. So many guys, when they go through this, man, they lose it. They lose it, bro. They hurt themselves. They hurt others. I hope Akash doesn't lose it. I hope he goes the way that most comics do, and they just take the pain and they turn it into something funny and they turn it into a bit. I hope he goes that way, and then he'll still be making money. Because remember, Akash is making, between between $40,000 and $70,000 to get him to perform. I looked that up. I think that's where he is, but he's certainly making at least 20 grand, anywhere between 20 and up. So he'll be able to to make his money back, because he's gonna lose it all. He's gonna lose half his shit.
Anyway, let's play some of his wife's podcast.
Oh, here we go.
So his wife is this one on the right in the blue sweater, who's going to be saying the crazy stuff. It's about 3 minutes, but listen to some of the clips and keep in mind, this is only from about 2 to 3 of their podcasts. I'm sure there's much, much more, but thanks to AI, this really didn't take long to find and put together. So I didn't have to expose myself to too much of this brain rot.
Would y'all?
I'm going to watch a little bit of their podcast. I haven't seen any of it yet, but remember, who you think paid for the set? Who you think paid for the microphones? Who you think paid for the editing? Who do you think put the money up so she can have this podcast? I'm willing to bet if it didn't all come from Akash, a lot of it did. Maybe her podcast mate put the money up for this, or maybe they split the cost. But remember, Akash pays for everything for her. So if she's doing this, he's probably paying for it. But let's listen.
Ever have an orgy together with your husband?
Priya,
She tried.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it? Okay, maybe.
I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy if we
Or
did
it's
it.
thick. It's thick.
I'd only been down for an orgy if we do it above my in-laws, so we're not doing it at all.
So there, Akasha's wife is talking about the size of her friend's husband's penis and suggesting that it's at least 10 inches and it's thick. Very strange. Like, can you imagine your wife talking to her friend saying this? It's actually also weird for her friend, but she kind of plays it off like it isn't weird. But again, can you imagine, your wife talking to her friend and saying, yeah, I would like to do an orgy with you guys, especially since your husband, he's probably, really big and thick down there. And she's saying this publicly too. I actually can't believe this is real.
Wait, okay.
Bro, what's going on here, man? It's the need for attention. These two women are young. They want attention. I mean, this is not about money. So you have Akasha's wife who's doing this podcast. It's Akasha's worth tens of millions of dollars. Right? It's not about money. Akash was talking about his crypto, like making crypto moves 5 years ago. Like, where was Bitcoin 5 years ago? Where's Bitcoin now? Like, bro, like this is all about attention. This is a young woman who's like, I'm not getting enough attention, and I want to do this, and you're gonna back me on this. And he's like, okay, baby, that happy wife, happy life stuff, right? And for her to make a statement like that, even if she's supposed to be quote unquote joking, she's talking about some other dude. She's checking out her friend's husband. All right, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's say, oh, we just scripted that out. We just wanted to talk about it because we're on a podcast. We're trying to be controversial, whatever. We're trying to be edgy. We're trying to get people to watch. All right. But what I'm hearing is, if you checking out, dude, how many other people you checking out? And Akash is on the road making money. He's gone doing stuff. He's making business deals. It's like, yo, what is Shorty doing while he's on the road? Now, if she had never been with another man before, if Akash was the only dude she's ever slept with, and he's the only woman, you know what I mean, that he's ever slept with, which is whatever, you got a real good chance that the guy's not gonna mess around. Akash not gonna mess around because you're the only one. He's been out here doing comedy forever. He ain't smashed none of these groupies. But if she went to college and has gone out and done things, remember they said talking about an orgy, and she was like, yeah, if I do an orgy again, it's like, yo, Shorty been out there getting it in. Like, to her, it's like, cool. And she's talking to her homegirl right there, like, yo, is it cool if I smash your husband? There are a lot of people who do that, young and old alike. You know what I mean? Y'all heard about them, swingers. There are people who do that. Like, yeah, my husband wants to smash you. It's cool. Go ahead. So you gotta be careful with that. Last good man in Jersey in the building. What's up? You can do what this brother does, man, and go to the Philippines and find you a nice woman. But anyway, let's continue.
I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder. This was before Bumble or Hinge. Like, this was like in the OG days of the app.
Story.
And
She
this
got
guy, he was like some how do you say, half Asian, like baddie. Wasian. That's the word.
Wasian.
Yeah, Wasian. Actually, in the Bay. That's when I was living in the Bay Area.
Oh,
And I
he's
made the
in Cali.
dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore.
Oh my God.
And I remembered that I would like try to finger me in my asshole. I'm like, first of all, we were not on those like terms. But anyways, so that was non-consensual, actually.
Yeah, so we can kind of make the assumption.
She's in California. She got some dude. She lets the dude stay at her crib. He's in the bed with her. And he puts his finger up her rear. She's telling this story. And yeah, y'all peeped at the end. She said that was not consensual. Now that I think about it, like you got to be careful out there, guys. You got to be careful out there.
From what she said here, that, you know, before this Asian baddie or whatever, there were previous men that she likely had encounters with. But it's like, here we have a wife talking about a strange man who touched her butthole. It's unbelievable. And now we also know that this woman here was Akash's first.
Can I also ask, what kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
Wow. I actually have a lot of respect because I don't think I would be able to do that, number one. And number two, my OCD would never, in my intrusive thoughts, like it would keep getting
No, I
infected.
sometimes think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I
Yeah.
could never do that.
Yeah.
So there's like a trend of these women creating these podcasts and then just talking like this. It's just like it's disgusting. And so a lot of times men will get critiques for being the degens, being the ones who are like, you know, sex obsessed or whatnot. But there is plenty of this out there. It seems like these women are trying to mimic the Call Her Daddy podcast. But the only difference here is both the women are already married, which is. So it's like here, Akasha's wife mentions that she could never do what her friend does, right? Which is to get off to the thought of her husband. And apparently, you know, she needs to actually watch people, you know, and could never even possibly imagine using her imagination, let alone bringing in her husband into her imagination.
That's what Rolo talks about, man. Rolo talks about, you know, that burning desire. And and women, again, young women especially, man, they don't think stuff through, man. They don't put anything through the think tank, bro. Women, I'm not saying they're not capable of doing it, but women just don't put it through the old
think tank. Arch, nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
And she's thinking, oh, it's all cool. We're just being zany. We're just being weird. Of course I didn't do all these things. Yes, she did, shawty. The stories are just rolling off too easy. And men care about a woman's past, right? Akash is listening to this. He's going crazy. And you're supposed to be a comic. You're around a bunch of immature dudes, right? Because on Flagrant, man, they on some real immature shit. I ain't mad. It's just most comics if you ever get into the comedy business, you ever get into stand-up, you're going to realize that 90% of the dudes in stand-up are fucking children. They're just grown men who never matured past 14. And they're class clowns. And these are the dudes that they don't make it. Like the vast majority of people in the business just don't make it. They don't have the ability to conjure up the really good, smart, intelligent bits and routines. They can't do it. They're just up there, saying whatever comes to mind and just stupid shit. They don't understand the art behind stand-up, but they like getting on stage. They like the spotlight. They like getting their little 3 to 5 minutes and doing whatever and hanging out because they're finding friends. They got a clan, they got a group. But the vast majority of these dudes, man, it's just like, damn. You avoid them. You find your clique, you find some comics who know what's going on. You guys are working to get better. You hang out with those guys. You're out hitting, you're doing open mics, you're getting booked in different rooms, you're trying to get onto the road, like you're studying, you're writing, you're constantly challenging yourself to get better. Meanwhile, you got these dudes that have been doing open mics and laundromat rooms for fucking 15 years. So those guys are completely inappropriate. Now, there's a lot of jealousy in that world too. So you look at someone like Akash, he has this woman that he was bragging about and, got on his high horse and was talking shit to Fresh and Fit. And now this woman is out here doing all the degenerate stuff that not most, but a lot of young women do today. And Fresh and Fit is sitting back like, and those other comics are going to be getting at him, man. They're going to be taking their little digs at him. Hey, you subscribing to Fresh and Fit yet? Hey, tell your wife I got one that's 10 inches thick. Hey, tell your wife I'm down for that orgy. Hey, he's got to deal with that because they are saying that in real life, bro. They are saying that in real life, man. And before I forget, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Don't be afraid to give me your 2 cents on this, guys, because this is important stuff, guys. This is important stuff. He is married to this woman, man. He's tied to her with no prenup. She got on when he started really getting to the big money. I don't think he has a shot in hell when this divorce happens to not pay nothing. He's going to be paying money, bro. He's going to be paying alimony. The question becomes, for how long? Right? And she just said right here in this podcast, like, my husband don't turn me on like that. Pay the bucks, bro. You don't think for a moment there's a dude out there that she's smashing? Maybe a few dudes that she's smashing? Like whenever she gets to an argument with Akash over something, you don't think she's going to go out and smash something? Because she can, if she wants to. And a lot of people like, well, aren't you calling her 3 or 4? I'm like, nah, she grown up. She can do what she want to do. Man, that's the game. The game is cold, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, that's the game. She won. There's no way she can lose, in my opinion.
I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll mother. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
Damn.
And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, I went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money.
Wow, quite the childish podcast they've got here. And one thing Akash and his wife have in common is accusing people of being incels. And in this case, Akash's wife says, for the incels out there who have it backwards, the trolls and whatnot, just so you know, his money is our money and my money is my money. So right there, Akash is a stone cold beta bucks.
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Michael B. Jordan. I love a pretty boy, which is why I like Chase Crawford, Michael B. Jordan. They're all so pretty to look at.
Dean Thomas from the Harry Potter movies, which you haven't seen. We have to. Okay.
She's naming dudes that she would smash. This is the hall pass segment. Oh, if your husband gave you a hall pass, what guys would you have sex with? And she's naming a legion of dudes, bro. She damn near named 18. She damn near named 12 guys. If your woman's really into you and you are the only man for her, you ask her about a hall pass, she's gonna look at you straight in the face. Like, what is that? Well, it's like you could go out and actually sleep with another guy and it's not considered cheating. I'm like, I'm sleeping with the guy I want to be with. My hall pass will be on my husband. And I've heard women say that. Women who don't normally go out and they're out around these loose chicks. Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm with the guy I want to be with. That's never gonna happen. Right. And then you never see that woman again. You see that group of girls, but you'll never see that woman again. Why? Because she realized, like, man, these chicks are bad. Let me stay away from them. Her husband ain't got to tell her, right? You know what I mean? Because her husband knows that my wife only wants me. I ain't worried about nothing. There's nothing any other man out there can do for her that she would accept because she only wants me and what we have and what we've built. There's plenty of women like that. I mean, the red pill will have you believe that all women are this and all women are that and all men. No. The vast majority of folks, you know what I mean, they take care of their business and they handle their business like grown-ups, right? The only time I'll say all is when I say the following. All women have access to the American family court system. So all women have that choice. They have that option if they choose to leave and take half or whatever and go through the family court system and get that. I mean, hell, you can make that for all people, all men too. If you're a dude that has a woman that took care of you and, you know, you want to divorce her and she's the breadwinner, you have that option. You can file for divorce and the court will take money from her and give it to you. Right. But as far as being a gold digger and all that, most people don't see the good women, right? Because they find their dudes early and they're gone. They're not in the dating landscape anymore. They're not out here in these trenches. So what we see out here is what's left, right? So we're out here dealing with, you know, these are the people that are left. That's who's out in these trenches. These two women are married. Sounds like Akasha's wife is married. You know, Akasha's wife has the American dream. She's got a husband who has all his money and clout and all this kind of stuff. Akasha's not a big man. He's not tall. He's not athletic or anything like that, but he's successful, has all the money. She got him. You would think the game's over, like you won, shorty. And then her friend sounds like her husband is successful, right? But they're doing this podcast. Like, why do you need this attention? This is just as bad as thirst trapping on social media. Like, why do you need this attention? I don't understand.
For fall, Neho hasn't watched Harry Potter, so we have to go.
I'll come over. We could do a sleepover in Harry Potter.
And here his wife, again, talking about all the famous, handsome men that she would sleep with if she were given a hall pass, meaning if her husband, Akash, gave her the go-ahead. These are all the men that she would happily jump in bed with. She's got a list. I mean, how many guys did she just name off? Just very disrespectful. But hey, I'm sure Akash would gleefully defend his wife's right to talk about all the other men she would rather sleep with than him. This is a very classy woman here. If people who disagree with these two are incels, what does that make Akash?
I love that. Good on you,
Love
Olivia
that.
Jade. Like, yeah, get him fucking
Oh God.
jealous. But he's so tall. Like, it's just like, can you imagine like how big his dick must be?
Dude,
Damn.
no, but that's why she keeps going back.
That's why she keeps
keeps
going back.
Seconds and thirds.
What do you think about?
Damn. I mean, wow. And this is Akasha's wife. Right? This is his wife. Trying to pull that up. Hold on. Like, this is Akasha's wife right there, bro. And she's talking about, I mean, what she's talking about is just, damn. If you're dealing with a woman who talks like this, fellas, it's like what Brother Michael talks about, Brother Michael Lee. You dealing with this type of woman right here is rec use only, man. You're supposed to just smash her. Do not allow yourself to fall in love with this type of woman. Don't let it happen. It's gonna hurt, bro, because it's not gonna go the distance. It's going to hurt. Either she's just gonna walk out on you if she has respect for you, or you're gonna catch her in the act, or some other dude's gonna come up, you know what I mean, with that older than guy joke. You got any naked pictures of your wife? You want to see some? That type shit. You know what I'm saying? Omnipresent history in the building. What's good, fam? You're right. Like, bro, she smashed that guy. She just told that story and whatever. And again, she's going to have cover. She's going to say, oh, I just made that up. That wasn't me. That was my friend. And that's all Akasha's going to need to hear. Oh, she made that up. You know what I mean? It's not her. It's just jokes. Like, bro, this is a horrible look. If you're dealing with a woman who talks like this, man, don't deal with it. It's not as if she's on set for somebody's TV show or movie and she's creating a different character and she's reading from the script. That's not what's going on here. And that too is bad, boys and girls. I want to tell you, like being on set in Hollywood, these Hollywood sets, bro, it's a lot of interesting things going on in those trailers. Right? You got a lot of relationships that last as long as the shoot lasts, and then it's over. And it's like, I go back to my wife, I go back to my husband. It is what it is. Right? Fellas, if you're dealing with a young girl who's saying these things, you got a problem. And I'm here to tell you, bro, how long did it take for her to say these things around Akash? You think it took years? You think she was keeping all this inside forever? No, she was probably saying this day one. Day one. Akash was just blinded by love, man. It happens to the best of us, bro. This is why it's so important, men, that you keep your emotions in check. You must keep your emotions in check, fellas, or you're gonna find yourself in this situation. I wanted to stop it there. The link is in the description below. We want to jump over to MTR. Right, MTR was talking about this too. This one is comedian's wife faced more backlash after publicly shaming her husband for views. This one right here is the one that really troubled me. Right, this is the video. Like, you guys are gonna see what's going on in this, and it's like it's sad to see, bro. It's so sad to see, because it's like, bro, what are you thinking? And then it's like, what kind of men do you have around you? Like, what kind of support system do you have when you allow this? You let this into your life, bro. And then it all points to that happy wife, happy life bullshit, bro. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. You know, Akash is learning a lot. This thing might end. He's probably getting all kind of pressure from his family, his traditional family, his Indian family. They're going to be looking at this and like, who the hell is that woman you married? Like, she's going to have to deal with that. And he's going to have to choose between his family and her. And who's he going to choose? He's going to choose her, because that's what these guys do when they fall in love. I tell folks all the time, men and women love differently. Women can move on. When they're done with you, they are gone, bro. They ain't thinking twice about it. Men just can't let go, man. You got to pry their hands away. They just can't let go. And it's such a terrible thing to see, man. So, man, shout out to MTR, man. Shout out to him. And let's check this out.
Do you know what my fucking husband just tried to do to me?
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up.
Tells him to shut up on her public Instagram twice and calls him an idiot in public. Now, I found another podcast that they did together prior to being married where they both talked about being virgins.
So one time I met this guy on Tinder. I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, and I woke up in the morning and my ass was a little sore. Oh my.
We need to get extremely active on a follow-up to a piece of content that I did last week. And the title of that video was Comedian's Wife Sparks Outrage After Saying That Real Men Should Never Go 50-50. Now, this content was that of the wife of famous comedian Akash Singh, who you guys may know either being a comedian or being a co-host on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz up on YouTube. Nevertheless, she had some ridiculous and downright disrespectful thoughts in regards to her husband and what she is owed. And within this video, it gets way damn worse. But first,
you know what's funny? That comment she made about letting the dude stay over, I missed the part where she said she met him on Tinder. So she meets a dude on Tinder and lets him come over. So they go out they meet on Tinder. They go out for a Tinder date, and she tells him it's cool to stay at my place. And then she says, I woke up because he had his finger up my bum. Bro, Tinder date. Now, what do we know about women when it comes to swiping left and swiping right? Women only want the very top of the top. Especially, you can look at who do women swipe on and talk to when they're online dating? Like the alphas, man, the Chads, the Tyrones. Right, so she's on Tinder. This is the Red Pill talks about this. The Mano Swamp talks about this all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. If women want to get down like that, get down like that. Just leave it in your closet, ladies. Don't tell the story. You're not a guy. There's so many women like, well, we're just like men. We could do it just like men. This ain't sexy. This ain't sexy. Now, will she ever be able to get the top tier dude? Yeah. If you talking about just letting him sleep with you and put his finger up your butt, she can get him all day long. But not now one of them top tier guys, them high value guys, wanted to wife her. I wonder why. But Akash did, couldn't wait. He couldn't wait.
Let's go over what she originally said.
Any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll motherfucker. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money.
Huh?
And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
Okay.
But
all
that's
right.
my money.
Huh?
Okay, we go on pause right there. Now, after I surfaced this clip, I saw a bunch of other people begin to react to it, but I also saw that people went back in their history of podcast appearances and started to stitch a bunch of clips together. And believe it or not, it gets even more pathetic. Without further ado. Now, this clip was uploaded to her Instagram account in June of this year. You see the date right down there. Let's go.
Do you know what my fucking husband just tried to do to me?
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up. We're leaving in Paris in 5 hours. So tensions are a little high. We also just redid our closet.
This is all her closet now. She took the whole closet.
Which we already agreed upon.
Now she's saying she doesn't have no space.
And now I'm saying I don't have space for all my. I don't have space for. Can you show?
Yeah.
I don't have space for all my Indian suits because I like my dresses spaced out. Do you know what Akash just did?
Here you go. Watch this. Oh my God.
I'm not doing
Look how
that.
much space exists.
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hanger space?
No, we were supposed to build a wardrobe, but Akash didn't want to do it
For
because
me,
he's too
because
cheap.
I took the smaller closet.
Yo, are you kidding me? Do you know how much
Man, look at
space
that
he
house.
has? Look, utilize the shelves, you idiot.
These are for sneakers. And then this is going to be for towels.
God.
This is going to be for...
So Akash is happy to have the interaction with his wife. You know, Akash thinks this is cute. Bro, this is a bad look. Like, this is a bad look. I've seen so many successful guys, like guys who make a lot of money, and they'll get a pretty woman and she'll begin to run everything. Mind you, I'm talking about people like, bro, you went out and made hundreds of millions of dollars. You didn't know this woman when you were going through your tough times. You bounced back better than ever. You did your thing. Now you're back on top again. You meet this woman who's pretty. You bring her in. She adds zero value, and she is taking over your whole existence. She's telling you what to do. She's telling you when to do it. She's telling you how to do it. And it's like, bro, you can't do that. That's disrespectful. To even want to make this clip and put this on social media, that's disrespectful. What is she doing? She's getting attention. What is she proving? She's proving to the world that I run this motherfucker. I run it. I run him. Like she said, my money is my money. His money is my money too. I'm just going to be nice and say it's our money. She running. He's in love with her. He'll do anything for her. He'll bend over backwards for her. And it's like, bro, you got to be careful as a man. When you choose these women, man, you got to make sure, man, that she loves you back, bro. Because if she doesn't, this is going to be horrible. And one day she's going to come across that dude that she really wants. And she's going to do something with that guy. Just like that Tinder dude that she had stay over her house. And she woke up saying her butt was hurting. And like Dr. B said, we got a doctor in the building. He's like, a finger, that's not really going to hurt you like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was something more than a finger.
God.
I got to clean all this, take it to the storage unit. I just realized today, you don't even know what the storage unit looks like.
I've never been there.
She won't take these downstairs, and then she wants them in my closet, or build a wardrobe so she can have space for her Gurdwara lengas.
Gurdwara suits.
Hey, yeah, look outside. Look at that view out the window. Bro, they live in New York, man. Pretty sure they live in New York. It's either downtown. That's like New York or downtown Jersey. I think that's New York. Do y'all know how much it costs to live in New York? Do you know how much it costs to get that kind of square footage in New York? Like, and she is not happy. There's no way to please this woman. There's no way to please her. And this is all Akasha's fault. This is why you need to vet for 2 years. This is why you need to pay attention. Right? I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't believe you're gonna run into if the woman is mid-20s or older. I don't think you're gonna run into a woman who's never been with a man. I don't think you're gonna run into a virgin. The best you can hope for is run into a woman who's had less than 5 bodies. If you can do that, they're like, okay, you might be working with something. And people are like, what, do I just ask her? No, you don't ask her. You pay attention to what she's saying. You pay attention where you guys are going, what you guys are doing. She's going to talk about her dating experiences on Tinder. She's going to talk about her dating experiences in college. She's going to talk about her dating experience in high school. You just got to pay attention. Like, you will hear it. And if your emotions aren't involved, you'll get the real answer. Like, you'll be able to work with that. But if you already are in love with this person, and you're going to wind up like Akash. I'm looking out the window, bro. Like, I'm seeing buildings like, man, if they living in New York, they're in Manhattan somewhere, anywhere in New York with that kind of view, bro, they are paying a lot of money. If he's renting that or he's bought it, whatever, it is a lot of money. New York ain't cheap.
Whatever.
You know what? Let's have a little bit of a better attitude.
You're right. Let's. Plural.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you're squeezed.
Oh gosh, for real? I like my clothes spread out. Then no, but I literally like my clothes spread out. You want to crunch them all together.
I'm not compressing them.
I don't want them all in the same rack.
These put them on a different rack. You have racks. You have shelves.
I only have 3
I
racks.
have a full walk-in closet. A full walk-in closet in New York City. Do you know how insane that is? A full walk-in closet for yourself in New York City, and you're telling me I don't have space?
I offered you some of my drawers. Oh, I'll put them in the drawers.
There we go. Look at that solution for the full walk-in closet.
Shut up. So rude.
Tells him to shut up on her public Instagram twice and calls him an idiot in public. And I'm gonna have to take out the background music, do the copyright guidelines, but it's that song, All I Want to Do Is Bang and Take Your Money. Is literally no shame in her gold digging game. I pray that a love like this would never find me, and if it did, she'd be back up on the streets, on the curb, when she belongs.
She belongs to the streets.
Quick emergency meeting.
I mean, if it did find you, it's your fault. Simple as that. It's your fault if it finds you. Fellas, if you find yourself in that situation, man, it's on you. You did it. You did that. You chose her. You went, bought a ring, and put it on her finger. Yeah, you more than likely got down on your knees. More than likely you made a big spectacle out of it. You did it. And then she said yes. Bro, they're living in New York City. Even if he's renting that space, bro, that high up, bro, I don't know what it costs for that space if he's renting that space, but I'm going to say it's north of $6,000 a month. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's probably well north of that. That was an amazing view. They had a lot of space in there. I mean, we didn't get to see the rest of the apartment. Or if he bought it, if it's a condo, Jesus, bro, millions. You know what I mean? Like, probably $1 million for that. And again, it depends on where it is, but ain't no cheap property in New York. Man, oh man, she doesn't appreciate what he has done for her at all. And then, you saw that picture of him in his t-shirt. It's like, bro, he needs to work out. He needs to, in order to get her to act right a little bit, he's gonna have to work out. That's the first thing I would tell him. Like, man, get a trainer, watch your diet, start working out, bro. Get a 6-pack. Like, you're never gonna get taller. You know what I mean? You don't need to be, a muscle man or whatever, but you need to look good. Like, get in shape, bro. Get in shape. That's what you got to do, because she really is just in it for the money. And I bet you she done talk to folks like, well, hey, talk to my friends. My friends say I just got to stay married with him for 7 years. We've established this way of life. And once it's over, I'm just going to be able to he's going to have to pay for this condo or apartment, and pay me alimony, because you have to maintain this lifestyle that he's gotten me accustomed to. And he's going to have to pay for the lawyers. both lawyers in the process. Again, this is why you lose half, sometimes more than half. Like, it's insane the amount of money that's on the line. And Akash was saying, well, it's a flex. I make so much money, I can give you half my money just for you to go away. It's not the way to look at it. Not the way to look at it. Let's run this back a little bit.
But also the state of the current weak, pathetic modern man today to load emasculation content up on the interweb to grow her pathetic ass audience. So for everybody that said in the last piece of content that she was being hyperbolic for views or that she was just joking, this is more evidence for you. What makes jokes funny is that they are 90% based in truth. And I believe when they turn the cameras off, she's the same goddamn way, if not worse. And he allows it. Now, it does say in the captions here, we're just joking with one another. But imagine your wife who don't got to lift a finger that you work so hard for to be able to provide for her makes your contributions a joke. This is weak shit and gives us more information why men like this run from prenups.
Princess treatment or bare minimum.
Sending good morning text.
Princess treatment.
Bare minimum. Oh, bare minimum.
Oh my God, every morning, good morning. It's all
Sending
princess
good
treatment.
morning text so I know that you're alive.
There's an empty space in the bed every morning when you wake up.
Today,
Your husband is going to work.
tying my shoes.
If I'm wearing an outfit and all of a
Tying
sudden my
my
shoes head,
shoes.
you're gonna bend down to
If
tie
you
my
were dressed up, I agree.
The idea that
bare minimum?
that in doing that, we are doing the bare minimum. It's insane. I go above
Time
and
out.
beyond.
opening car doors.
Bare minimum.
If we're going somewhere, I try to open the car door for her.
Yeah.
But if I'm pulling up and waiting for you for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I'm not a f***ing chauffeur, dog. Dial 7s if you want that.
If I call the Uber, I'm going to open the door for you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I do that.
Taking your partner on an impromptu shopping trip.
I'll do that anytime. But if you think the bare minimum is I take you to Mew Mew and you buy whatever you want.
I didn't buy whatever I wanted. He limited me. I am on a budget. Okay.
Because you want a house that I don't care about.
Mew Mew
Oh,
or the Hamptons house? Pick one. Go.
Yeah, thank you.
Pick one.
Look at her. Look at her. Gonna cry.
So bad, she's gonna cry.
If you think that
Jesus, bro. That's what he signed up for. That's what he signed up for. If your wife really appreciates you, bro, and she knows what you're doing, she knows you have you're in the social media world, like you're actually Akash is climbing the ranks in Hollywood. He's in with the cool kids. He's getting out of the writer's room. He's probably going out on auditions. He's gonna start working his way up the ladder because as Andrew Schultz climbs up that ladder, he's gonna be pulling Akash up with him and the other dudes too. So it's like, why would you make me look like this? We're supposed to be a team. Don't you want your your team to look good? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are we on this podcast having this conversation? Let's talk about something else. You would think you would want your husband to look like the man. Everyone likes to say king. Why aren't you having Akash look like a king right now? Why you got him going through this bullshit? Right? Because she wants that attention. And she ain't into him like that. She could again, when you look at that couple, which one you think will have no problem whatsoever walking away? Right? We know that ain't Akash. Akash should be sitting there again, white knuckled, holding on, crying, begging, pleading, anything you want, anything. I'll buy you the house. I'll take you to Moo Moo. You can't be that guy. You can't be that guy. Even if you broke, you can't be that guy. You got to stand on you. Like women don't respect that, bro. No one's going to respect you, man. That the money only gets you so far, bro. And now she's probably just, I'm about to take this money. I'm going to get this house. I'm going to get the house. I'm going to get your money. I'm going to get your retirement. I'm going to get half your crypto portfolio. I'm taking everything. Like, he might just give it all up. We got Brother Tez in the building. What's happening, man? If your woman disrespects you at any point while y'all together, before the relationship, during the relationship, after the relationship, doesn't matter. If she disrespects you, bro, she ain't the one.
a shopping spree is the bare minimum, then you need a mental health evaluation. Calling princess treatment shit the bare minimum is straight up a manipulation tactic. And it is to position her to never be grateful for anything. So even her sense of entitlement isn't really entitlement, because how dare you not give me this bare minimum treatment of getting a shopping spree? I will never understand a man that will entertain a serpent like this, but maybe he just likes this shit. Maybe he likes to be degraded For some reason, in my mind, I think of him as one of them dudes that like to get tied up and put into a corner of the room as she runs from one end of the room to the other with heels on and kicks him right in the nuts.
I don't think it's that bad, MTR. I don't think it's like that. I think that but I could see a situation where she's with a dude she wants to be with and Akash is holding the camera. I could see that. And it's like when that jumps off, it's like, yeah, Akash, you've come a long way from being on your high horse talking to Fresh and Fit to sitting here taking pictures of your, video of your woman getting her back blown out by some dude she likes. And when she's done, you're gonna tie her shoes and take her on a spending spree and take her to a brand new house that you bought her. Fellas, this ain't the way. This is not the way, guys.
And as he screams out in pain, that really is pleasure for him. One of those dudes. He's definitely into this shit. There's no other way. But interestingly enough, guess who also agreed with my prenup statement? Mr. Beast.
December 18th, I got married.
Really?
Great decision. I recommend you do it. And you don't need a prenup because you don't make any money.
Okay, exactly. Did you get one?
Did I get a prenup? No prenup. Got me for everything.
Gonna regret that. I know at least like 3 people who got one, and I was friends with them when they got married, and then like 2 of them didn't work out. It's just interesting to see it go from like, yeah, we'll be together forever to like, this is the worst decision of my life.
Did you think about giving them some money?
I'll tell the people at our food banks like less money this month. Gotta help my divorce friend.
He's probably waiting in line next to them.
Exactly.
Wow. Let's play the best part of that over again just so we can all have an understanding.
Gonna regret that.
It is wild to watch these two laugh off fantastic advice like this is them laughs is gonna be tears in about 10 to 15.
Them a nerve. That's a nervous laugh. The Akash and Schultz are not dummies. Akash and Schultz, they understand what they have done. They understand their situation. I haven't seen any content with Schultz's wife, and they got their baby and everything, which is great. You're not supposed to see that. Not that I'm even looking for, but I haven't heard anything. Like I wasn't looking for this. I wasn't looking for content on Akash and his wife or Akash's wife or whatever. Right? Akash is he has a problem and he knows it. He has a problem, he knows it, and he's probably living in that world where it's like, you know what? Ignorance is bliss. It's bliss. Just probably talking to her, like, just love me enough that you don't get caught. I guarantee you little shorty's doing dirt, bro. I guarantee you she out there when she, when she get ready and she out there, as soon as she see a guy she like, it's
tell what Frisco I say. You know what I have to tell him, say. Big up my girl on the side, guys, and them flex the best.
Big up to them girls who flex the best, bro. And I'm telling you, that little firecracker, boy, I bet you she can flex with the best of them.
Baby. Now, I know a lot of y'all are probably asking what type of archetype of guy would allow this type of communication from his wife about him publicly. And it is a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience with women, as he was a virgin when they met.
At some point, I just got more comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. And I think probably when I met my now wife and I was having sex, it didn't feel obviously as vulnerable and embarrassing. Because when you're looking for somebody, I still would talk about it, but it feels a lot more like, oh boy, here goes a whole thing.
He's talking about his virginity.
It was a choice. Throughout high school, throughout college.
Throughout high school wasn't a choice. I was ugly.
Okay.
Nobody would have
So at that time, if a girl was like, let's have sex.
I don't know that I would have, but it was a choice that was very easy to make.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
College, I made it a choice, but also I went to a college with a lot of religious people, so they weren't like, it wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
I grew up in the South, and in Texas, it's not unheard of. It's rare, but it's not unheard of.
The more that you listen to it, the more you kind of feel bad for the guy, right? Because
I mean, the game is the game, bro. I feel bad for him, but that's the game. He's talking about, I went to a religious school and I'm in Texas, bro. Some of the most crazy experiences I've had were in the deep South, in Texas and Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina. Bro, crazy. With church people. They gonna do what they do and then be in church bright and early on Sunday morning. Crazy. Be in church and you realize like that's the preacher's daughter. Like So the fact that it was easy for someone like Akash, a small dude, no confidence. Like you said, he called himself ugly, no confidence. It's easy for that guy to get zero sex. It is very easy for men, right, to be celibate. So basically, Akash was an incel. He just didn't know it. In his mind, he's like, well, I'm saving myself. Like, nah, man, these women don't even see you, bro. They ain't trying to smash you. So you throw that term loosely, like, oh, you must be an incel. Like, bro, you were an incel. You were an incel. You just owned it. Like, oh, I'm not getting any sex because of my religion. I don't care what school you went to in Texas. You think that the captain of the football team wasn't getting 3-4 chicks at night if he wanted it? You don't think he was, getting 2, 3, 4, 5 ways? Come on now. All the beer they drink, all the alcohol they do, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's the religious people, bro. They party hard.
You begin to understand what happened. He has a little bit more traditional mindset, right? Probably comes from a religious family, and he doesn't seem like an evil guy. On account of his religion, kept his virginity, was searching for the right one. Now, if you transplanted him, like, I don't know, 70, 80 years ago, he probably would have been fine in the damn long run. But wait. He's in modern times experiencing modern women and their modern ass beliefs where they're okay with disrespecting a man publicly. They're okay with saying shit like, what's mine's is mine's and what his is mine, and he better hand it over to me. They're fine with saying and doing shit like that, or going to their Instagram and acting entitled and privileged and, as if it's an honor for him to put her on a pedestal. These are
I mean, that's the world he's in. Little shorty looked at him like, yeah, it's a privilege for you to meet me. She looks down on him. And then, back to the sex thing. I would say that Akash, and again, this isn't negative. I want to drive home a point. Men like Akash, right? These are the dudes that are involuntarily celibate. In his case, he wasn't trying to have sex. It's really easy to be that guy. It's really easy as a man to keep your virginity intact in America, especially if you're not that dude. You're not an ace dude. You're not an alpha dude. You're not playing sports. Like, you're not out there crushing it. Now, what I will say is once Akash became a comedian and started, trending upwards in that world, that at that point he was literally, probably now he's blocking the sex and no, get back. No, I don't want it. At that point, yeah, you gotta give him credit for that, because in comedy, bro, I'm telling you, you can be a halfway decent comic, man. Women want to holler at you, bro. It's just one of those things we talk about, man, being good at something. If you got a really good 6 minutes, right? You got 6 minutes. Every time you drop that 6-minute bit, you get a standing or whatever. You get people high-fiving you, like laughing crazy, going. Women see that, bro. You the man in that moment. She gonna want to holler at you, bro. I can't tell you how many times I've had some great situations with women based on that type of situation, like doing some comedy somewhere or being the man at some event, like everybody knows you type shit. That's going to get you women. And he said no. So I gotta give him props for that. That's definitely a Don DeMarco, gosh. Like when the women were seeing you, when you finally became visible to women and they wanted to holler at you, you said no because you wanted to save yourself for marriage. Don DeMarco for that. Don DeMarco. Because that's something I wouldn't be able to do. That's something I couldn't possibly do. What? Women coming at me, don't literally throwing themselves at you, and you're saying no? Wow. All right, cool. You gotta give him credit for that. Because before he met his wife, he was making money in comedy. He had already started reaching the higher levels. He was doing his thing. He was rolling with, Schultz and all those guys, right? Schultz wasn't doing that. Schultz was knocking them down, bro. He was tearing them up. He was smashing left and right. Right. I'm pretty sure the rest of the dudes were too, but Akash is like, nah, I'm not doing that. I tip my hat to you, bro. That's what's up. But that's gonna hurt you in the long run, because in today's market, that guy, like, to sit there and say, I saved myself, I'm a virgin, bro. They're gonna look at you like something wrong with you, bro. That's not a come up. That's not a flex. They're gonna look at you like something's wrong with you. And if he's thinking like all these women are like me, which she probably was, my wife, she's innocent, she's beautiful. Look at her. She's same heritage, she's Indian. She knows her family. She's a good girl. I hear that term so much with these dudes in the red pill world, in the mental swamp. No, she's a good girl. Word? And she's mad at you because you won't buy her a breast job or a BBL. She's a good job and she's mad at you because you want to go with her and her friends to Colombia or to France, to the south of France on a girls trip. She's mad at you because you want to come along girls' night. She wants you to stay home. She's a good girl, but she wants to go hang out with her girls. She's a good girl. She wants to, go on that girls' trip to Tulum. She's a good girl. Right? Come on. No, she's not. But they don't have the background. They don't have the experience. That's one of the things that Myron talks about. You got to get out there and smash a few women. You got to be around women just so you know how they move. That's what Michael Certain talks about. Like, get out there, hang out with women, put women in your friend zone, get comfortable being around beautiful women. That's another thing that most dudes just aren't comfortable with. They don't know how to act when the beautiful women are there. I'm used to being surrounded by beautiful women, man. Ain't nothing to me, man. Just like Michael Certain, man, it is what it is. But the vast majority of dudes have never experienced that, ever. And this is what you need to do. This is why that MOA stuff, man, that Men of Action stuff, bro, I highly recommend it. Go talk to them boys. Look at what they're doing. Go and surround yourself with beautiful women. Learn how to put together events and become the center of attention, and watch how women move around you. Watch how they come to get you. You know what I mean? It's more than just getting in your orbit, bro. They really going to try to get at you. But anyway, shout out to Akash for saving his virginity, but it did not help him in the situation he's in now.
Modern times, and his software has not adjusted to the new software of the sexually liberated modern ass woman. This is why they bucked up so hard to content in the space, or why they bucked up so hard at Fresh and Fit, because they were being introduced to truths, and those truths went against their life choices. Now, I found another podcast that they did together prior to being married where they both talked about being virgins, but wait for it, trust me.
He was like really like on some principled shit, and I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't want to lose his virginity. But when I met Akash, I was at the point where I was ready, because I don't know if you told her, because I
I didn't know you're a virgin too.
So I was a virgin too when I met him.
That's why she don't know that it's trash.
That's why.
She don't know no better.
I have no idea.
You got to get him ignorant. You know what I mean?
No, so I felt like I was like at a place where I was ready, and then I found out he was a virgin, and then I was like, great. Like, do I have to wait again? But I think like we just connected very well, that it went without saying that we wanted to.
How did you guys meet?
They met at a show, by the way. All right. Now, the first time that we reviewed the content, she was saying that, well, I grew with him, but maybe he was a struggling comic at the time. Oh, but wait, she follows up with this.
No, he wasn't a struggling comic. He was breaking through. He was making money. He was doing his thing. But I think it was before the millions, but he was doing good. He was probably making anywhere from 80 to 100,000 plus. But, I think they met before the millions. And she said that she was a virgin too. Man, I don't know if I believe that, guys. I don't know if I believe that. What she was saying. She was like, I was ready. Then we heard the story about the dude from Tinder. I don't know if I believe that, man. I want to hear this next part.
At one of his shows.
We're at the Hoboken Comedy Festival. And
Andrew actually brought us together because I was on a show.
My sister was a fan of Brilliant Idiots, and she had heard Akash on the podcast. So I was actually living in California right before, and she was buying tickets, and she was like, oh, we should go. Like, he's really funny. They're really funny. It'll be a good time, blah, blah, whatever. So
Andrew brought them together. So he was already on Brilliant Idiots when they met. Now he admits to it, but she also said that she was too, right?
We'll take signups one day.
Yeah. One day, do a sign-up sheet. Wait, okay. I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder. This was before Bumble or Hinge. Like, this was like in the OG days of the app. And this guy.
So this story she's telling, obviously it was before she got married, right? And she said that she was a virgin when she met Akash. And Akash, he never said that the first time they were together was on their wedding night. So maybe Akash started smashing her. But she got these butthole stories. This is weird, bro. This, again, if you listen, women will tell you what's going on, bro. You ain't got to ask nothing. Just sit back and listen. The stories are going to come out.
He was like some, how do you say, half Asian, like baddie. Wasian. That's the word. Yeah, Wasian. Actually, in the Bay. That's when I was living in the Bay Area. And I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my!
I'm going to pause it right here because I don't want to go on and continue because it may be against YouTube guidelines. But whether or not y'all want to conclude that this is virgin-like activity, I'm going to let y'all Battle it out in the comment section. This woman is an absolute menace. You cannot convince me otherwise. F's down into the chat for good old Akash.
I think women use shaming tactics on men because, simply put, our ego can't handle their truth.
This is Tyrese's ex-wife.
So he's going to continue on with what he's doing there, bro. Like, the big thing with Akash's situation, man, is the lack of respect from his wife. Now, if you want to believe that she was a virgin or she wasn't a virgin, it really doesn't matter, to be honest with you, bro. It just doesn't matter. You know, in my opinion. It's how she's acting once you guys get together. And it just doesn't seem like she has any respect for him. She doesn't seem to care. And if you look at the way things are done in America, it's like, well, why would she care? She can't lose at this point. She can't lose. You know, is she out there smashing a bunch of dudes? Probably. Maybe not, but probably. And by a bunch of dudes, it might just be a couple guys that she's had relationships with before. And she'll see them and it's like, all right. And then she'll, you know, well, my husband's not good at it and whatever, you know, he gets his, but I want to go over here to Nathan because Nathan knows how to, you know, hit the right spot. Nathan, he knows how to make me squirt or whatever. And just, like, again, it boils down to love me enough that you don't get caught. But if you love me, are you ever going to disrespect me? That's the thing. So it's one last video I want to show, man, and we're out of here. Rich Cooper is talking about disrespect. And if you guys haven't, you definitely need to go over and check out Entrepreneurs in Cars, Unplugged Alpha, read the book. You know, that book is behind me. It's right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me grab it. This is one of the best books. Let me switch the camera angle up. There we go. This is one of the best books, bro, out there in the space, man. You know, the Unplugged Alpha and Aaron Clary's book, The Book of Numbers. You definitely want to read those two. So this video, I haven't watched this video. I just watched like the first 30 seconds. Let's check this out. He's, you know, Rich Cooper is talking about disrespect. And bro, man, respect is so key in any relationship, bro. You got to have it. And guys, you got to respect your wives as well. Like you got to respect your woman. Your woman got to respect you. If y'all don't have that respect, bro, it's doomed to fail. If y'all don't respect each other, what the hell are y'all doing together? Right? You got to have that respect, bro. So let's check this out.
All right, what's up, my brothers? In this video, we're going to be answering the question, am I the a-hole for asking my girlfriend to stop posting thirst traps when she's in a relationship with me? Let's read this guy's specific questions. He's a 25-year-old male, been dating his girlfriend who's a year younger for 10 months. She is very active on Instagram and TikTok. Lately, she's been posting a lot of revealing pics, bikini shots, bedroom mirror selfies in lingerie, suggestive dances, you get the idea. I asked her calmly if she could tone it down a bit, not stop posting completely, but just maybe post stuff that doesn't look like it's begging for male attention. Her response was immediate. I do this for me. If you have a problem with it, that's your insecurity, not mine. She even made a story post after that conversation saying something like, if your man can't handle your glow up, he's not your man. Subtle, right? I get wanting to feel confident, but why post that kind of content if you're in a committed relationship? She says that I'm being controlling, but I feel like I just ask for basic respect. Now remember, this is a lately question. I posted this on my Twitter feed and I said, lately tells you everything you need to know about her getting ready to monkey branch. So let's address this question in this video because it's a common mistake a lot of guys make in long-term relationships is basically allowing bad behavior. You know, I often talk to my private coaching clients about the notion of you get out of life what you tolerate. You tolerate bad behavior, you're basically encouraging more of it. And guys are gluttons for punishment when it comes to this kind of stuff. They just love co-signing and condoning horrible behavior that leads to problems later on down the road in the relationship. Basically, like it boils down to this. If she's going to ask for your commitment and want you to abandon other options when it comes to dating, i.e. other women, because she wants to quote unquote claim you, then you have a responsibility to this relationship. You're going to have a responsibility when the bill comes. You got to bust out that credit card. It's got to work, right? You got to look like you know what you're doing in life. You can't be an incompetent fool. Last thing she wants to see is the charge machine going through the waitress, and she's like, "Oh, your card's been declined, sir." So men, as a function of being men and being masculine, have a number of responsibilities in a relationship to the woman that they love, which in my opinion means that there should be a level of authority that comes with that commitment that you're giving to her. The amount that you want to claim is up to you, but I think that on a balance of probabilities, the vast majority of men don't take enough authority in a relationship. They just kind of like loosey-goosey lollygag through it and kick their feet up and just sort of like hope for the best, which is.
And he's right about that. You know, Rich Cooper, man, like this is the guy that was telling me, like, man, you know, be careful in the Mano Swamp. You know, like it's a lot of bad actors over there, bro. Like, just, you know, watch your back, brother. And shout out to Rich for that, man. You know, definitely a Don DeMarco for his advice, and he was right. Don DeMarco was definitely right, and we see it right now. But I still want to try to help dudes. Most guys that get a woman, and then she has that conversation. So what are we conversation? And he's like, okay, we're together. And most dudes aren't spinning plates. Most dudes don't have rotations. Most dudes don't understand a game, have game, or like have that player mentality. Most dudes don't. Right. So he's just happy he got her, it's cool. And he just wants peace, right? He wants everything to be everything. Like, I just want peace. But it's really hard to have peace with a lot of women, man, because just the emotions and shit like that. Like, you just can't come home, kick your feet up sometimes. It's like, did you remember to stop at the grocery store and do this? Did you remember to do that? Can we go do this? You know, come look at this now. Look what I did with the closets. Like, I don't care about the closets. And he spends his time just trying to keep her happy. You're going to have to balance that out on your own. But my thing is, when I'm dealing with a female, if I'm dealing with a woman, it's like, listen, I love you. I want to, you know, I love what we got going on here. But when I get home from work, you're going to have to give me time to adjust to what's going on. Because keep in mind, guys, I was an air traffic controller. I was in a situation in Miami, and I had someone, and I was hoping it was going to work. It didn't. It would have been horrible for me. I got out of it. It is what it is. I got out of it because I was paying attention to what was going on. I saw what was going on. It was a situation where, oh, here's someone who's going to try to take advantage of the situation and just level up and live a lifestyle that they can't afford on their own, right? So I would get home from work, and this person wanted to do things like play chess. Like, I want to learn how to play chess. I'm learning how to play chess. I'm like, fine. I would come home from work, and it's like, look, I just spent 8 hours of mental gymnastics saving lives. Like, it was a bad day too. This is when I was in Miami. Miami was bad when the weather rolled in the summer. It's like, yo, I'm sorry, in the winter when the weather rolled in. And I'm like, look, I can't think right now. Right? I just got home. It's been a horrible day at work. I can't even tell you what almost happened today. I am not in a position to play. You know, I'm not in the right mindset to play chess. I can't think anymore. I've been thinking all day, critically thinking all day. And she would get upset. So I would sit there and play her. Even I didn't care. I was just moving the pieces around. I didn't care. And she couldn't beat me half the time. And I wasn't even thinking. And it was like, I had to tell her, like, listen, when I come home, I need an hour to decompress. You got to give me an hour before you come at me with anything. Whatever's going on, you got to keep handling it for 60 minutes after I walk in the door. And then after that hour, okay, I'm ready. We can talk about whatever. And she would never comply with that. She just couldn't comply with that. It's like, no, I've been waiting around all day. You have to deal with this now. Like, okay, I'm going to deal with it now. Then bye. You got to go. Right? Because I'm a dude that I need peace. I'm going to get that peace. I'm not going to tolerate anything outside of that. Most men will tolerate all that BS until it builds up and then they explode. Right? And it's like, don't do that, guys. And then that tolerating bullshit also includes the woman being disrespectful towards you. Right? You're posting your body half naked on Instagram, bikini shots, lingerie shots. You're dancing with no clothes on. Stop doing that. We're not going to negotiate. Stop doing that. I'm going to tell you one time, like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. And she's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Fine. Now I'm making plans to separate. You got to go. You got to go. If you're not living in my space, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm going to gather up your stuff, make sure all your stuff is there, I'm gonna give it to you and push you out the doors. Have a good life. Bye. I don't care about your tears. I don't want to hear your excuses. I'm not dealing with a woman who thirst traps. Why are you thirst trapping? Who are you trying to get? You ain't. I'm already here. Who you trying to get? So, fellas, y'all got to understand. Like this. That's how you got to move. You don't have to make a big scene. You don't have to argue. You just have to make up your mind. Okay, she has to go, and begin the process of getting her untangled from your life. If she's not living in your spot, that's cool. Get your stuff out of her place. Get her stuff out of your place. Leave her the keys and be out. You know, don't confront her. Don't be like, I'm walking out on you. Don't, move in silence. Just get it done. You just get it done and move on. You're done with her. Block her. Technology is great. She can't reach out to you. Block her. If some strange account is trying to reach you on WhatsApp or Telegram or something like that, that's her. Block that. Right? Don't let her get a hold of you. It'll probably take 6 months and then she'll give up. But let's get back to what Rich is saying.
Is where most guys get in situations like this, where 10 months down the road, they're going on a forum like Reddit and saying, am I the asshole because I'm asking my gal to stop posting salacious and provocative photographs? And we're not just talking about like a little bit of skin. He explicitly stated that she's taking bedroom mirror selfies and sexy lingerie. That's not how taken women behave. Girlfriends with boyfriends do not post provocative, public, sexy photos on social media like Instagram or TikTok, because the only point of it is to garner attention. It's been said many a times, and I'll repeat it, that attention is the coin of the realm when it comes to girl world. They love attention. And sometimes the attention that you give them, guys, it ain't enough. Sometimes.
That's what's going on with Akash. His wife wants all that attention, right? Y'all hear what Rich is saying? This is, he haven't even seen this Akash stuff. He probably don't even know it exists, but it's attention.
They want to get it from multiple sources, even in a committed relationship. Look, if you're going to abandon all your optionality, which is what most guys do when it comes to a long-term relationship, there's very few guys that are just like, oh, sure, you know, you can claim me, but just understand you're only going to get like 99% of my sexual exclusivity. I might exercise some Very few guys do that. So the vast majority of the benefits that you enjoy as a single guy, you completely abandon. You're just like, no, I'm not going to see other women anymore. It's you and only you. And then all of a sudden, 10 months down the road, now all of a sudden she's posting sexy and provocative and salacious photographs. And when you say something about it, she makes a disparaging statement, or she responds very unkind. Oh, you're controlling. Why are you so insecure? I'm not doing it for attention. I'm doing this for me. Bullshit. You're doing it for attention. If you're doing it for you, then you would just take the photograph and keep it. You might send it to your boyfriend or your husband and say, hey, what do you think of this new lingerie? Should I keep it or should I return it? But a woman that is seeking the attention and validation of the public will post it in a public forum, on Instagram, on TikTok, doesn't matter, in a public forum. Now, look, are there some exceptions? Of course, you know, you guys are going to be like, but there's some exceptions to the rule, Rich. Maybe. Let's say you own a bikini clothing line or something like that, for example. You might run a business Instagram page and have to post photographs of your new lineup. Maybe you model them yourself if you're a chick. Maybe you hire models and you post it in the feed. But either way, it's a business. And let's hope that business is making real life-changing money. But if your life is working as the nail salon clerk or a cashier at checkout at the grocery store, ladies, you have no business posting provocative photographs, even in a relationship or not, online. It's lowbrow. It's low class. That's not what good women do. Good women preserve their value. And
he's right about that.
Just out with a new blistering.
He's right about that. Good women do preserve their value. I don't know what I just did, guys. My bad. And I my bad. Was it here? I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna start it there when we get back to talking, but I clicked the wrong spot. My bad. But even if you're a woman, you own a lingerie company or whatever, you're in a long-term relationship, of course you're gonna hire models for the sexy stuff. And if you're gonna model yourself, you're gonna, have the robe on, you're gonna cover up still as much as you possibly can. Women do these things, man, because they want attention and validation from the rest of the world, from strangers. That's what he said was 100% true. Sorry, I jumped around. Let's see if we can find where we left off.
you're doing it for attention. If you're doing it for you, then you would just take the photograph and keep it. You might send it to your boyfriend or your husband's business Instagram page and have to post photographs of your new lineup. Maybe you model them yourself if you're a chick. Maybe you hire models. Check out apps, even in a relationship or not, online. It's lowbrow, it's low class. That's not what good women do. Good women preserve their value. And the more you showcase your beauty to the public, the lower your value. I mean, that's all that it boils down to, right? I've said this many times before, that there's no married man who wakes up in the morning beside his wife after years and thinks himself, I wish my wife had posted a few hundred more provocative photographs and sexy lingerie in her bedroom mirror on Instagram. There's no guy that thinks to himself, I wish my wife had banged like 50 more guys before we got married. That would just make my relationship better. Men want a woman that is theirs. And ladies, if you're watching this, you're not committed to a guy if you're posting provocative photography on social media. The only purpose for you doing that, it's not for you. We all know that's not true. The only purpose to do that is to garner likes and comments from the public. And some of that public might be, in fact, the vast majority will be men in the public. You might man's commitment 10 months ago and said, hey, I don't want to share you. I want to make you mine. What are we? Where do we stand or something to that degree? And then 10 months later, you're posting bikini pictures and lingerie photographs. You're basically telling this guy that he's not good enough and that you're getting ready to bust a move to the next guy, to monkey branch out. I've talked about monkey branching before. Women move very quickly from guy to guy, and they usually don't wait till the relationship ends.
Bro, this right here, man. Y'all need to really pay attention to what he's saying. The monkey branch thing happens all the time. When women start doing that, bro, like you gotta understand, like she's already made up her mind. She's making the move. She's not gonna make the move. She's making the move. And most dudes just don't pay attention to this coming. Like you don't see it. So the pictures often coincide with going out more, hanging out with the girls, right? Like she's probably back in the gym more than before. She's not talking to you as much. She's not asking about your day as much. She seems distracted, right? If you reach for her phone, will kick the table over and just kind of go crazy to keep you away from the phone. Like there's a lot of her getting up and leaving and going somewhere quiet. It's like, bro, you probably did something. She's ready to move on, right? So let's see what Rich says. What's his advice when you find yourself in a situation? I say it's over. Recognize it's over and just move on. It's just, all right, let's go. We're done here. Let's see what Rich says.
Before they monkey branch to the next guy. You notice how I said lately when I opened this up earlier. She's only been doing this lately because she's not about the relationship anymore. She's also disrespecting him. I'm going to put a card up on the top right about disrespect and managing female disrespect. You should watch that video afterwards. But she's also expressing disrespect or contempt for him. And again, contempt is a clock that ticks down to the end of the relationship. This relationship is ending. Guys, if you let things get to this point, you're not the ass. You really are. You're going to be called the ass. You're going to be told that you're insecure. You're going to be told, why are you so trolling? My friend Becky does it, and her boyfriend Paul, blah, 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 says this about it, or he's happy that she does it. Look, none of that matters, because the grim reality of all of this is that she is doing it because she's getting ready to get out of the relationship. And you as a guy, if you see signs and signals of this, you need to say something about it. And if the behavior doesn't correct itself, then you need out, because you're going to be in for a world of trouble and hurt if you just sit back and let her to continue that behavior. Because what you're going to get one day is a text message or a phone call or a we need to talk, and she's going to do the I love you, but I'm not in love with you and I'm moving on sort of thing. And you're going to be sitting there going, oh, what happened? I don't understand. And then you start Googling for videos, how to get my ex back. Why did she break up with me? Or some version of that. And it's because you suck as a guy, because you're not paying attention to these signs and signals. If you're attentive to your woman's behavior, how she holds herself out on social media and the public, and how she treats you when you set boundaries, then you will be very well calibrated to what she's about and how much of your vibe she actually is, if I can put it that way. A woman that loves a man makes it very easy to be in a relationship with him. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. If she truly loves you and respects you, she makes it very easy to be in a relationship with her. She doesn't argue with you. She doesn't call you controlling when you're asking for something reasonable, like don't post hoe photographs on social media for the world to see. It just doesn't make sense, right? No man wants that. So if you're a guy, you've heard the hard truth. If you're a gal and you truly love the man, listen to him, respect him, and follow his guidance and his lead when he sets some boundaries. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a situation, ladies, where you just got nothing and you can't lock down or keep a guy anymore because you don't know how to behave in a long-term relationship. Simple as that. Guys, if you want to learn...
Yo, definitely check out his book, man. Unplugged Alpha. Definitely check out Brother Richard's book. And he has a community. He has that, I think it's the something up the unplugging or something like that. I forget the name of it, but like this brother right here in the group that he's created, I mean, it can help some of you, you know, but what he said is 100%. Tell her what's going on. Let her know, I don't like this, you know, change your behavior like he was saying. I mean, I use different terms or whatever, but you got to let her know what it is. Got a problem with this? Don't do this. If she continues to do it, fine. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. And I don't believe in having a scene and whatever. Nah, bro. This is it. I made up my mind. I'm moving on. Now I'm going to plan this out like Michael Corleone playing stuff out. I'm going to plan it out. And then on one day, I'm just going to make it happen. And boom. Maybe she takes her girls trip, you know what I mean, to New York with her homegirls. And when she gets back, all my stuff is out of her place. I got all her stuff is in her place. I left her keys over there. That's it. I'm done. No note, no nothing. You already know what time it is. And when you call, I'm not talking to you. When you text, I'm not answering. I'm going to leave you on red. All that. You know what it is. I'm done. You got to know how I move. Like if you don't know this is how I move, then you didn't know me anyway. So what's the point? They're going to come by the house. This is why I like to have security. You know, I like to have like, you know, a door guy and, you know, security in the building and all that, you know, security elevators. Can't get to me. Can't get to me. It's like, well, I would go to the places he go to. I switched all that up. I don't go to the same gym anymore. Like, I don't go to those restaurants anymore. Like, damn, I can't find a dude. That's right. I don't want to be found. And we'll end with this, bro. Like, we watched all that stuff and we're talking about Akash and his wife. Do you think Akash's wife respects him enough that she will stop doing things? The answer is no. Like, look what she's doing with the podcast. Look at the stuff that she's talking about. You know, she's going off on the guy, telling him to shut up and all that. Like, oh, we just did that. This is just fun. We're just doing this. You know, she's not happy. You know, you got to give me princess treatment as a baseline. Like, bro, Akash got himself into a situation. Can he salvage it? Yeah, it's possible. If she really cares about him, it's possible she can salvage it. But in one of the videos they were already talking about couples counseling. Like, damn, you already went to counseling? Shit. It's possible to salvage it, but the thing is, if she's not into you, she's not into you. You got married without a prenup. You made all this money. Bro's going to cost you big. That's what it boils down to. She's going to take the money and run. It is what it is. And she's still young. She's 5 years younger than he is. So she can take that money, go live her best life, still lock down another dude, right? Maybe not a guy who has as much money as Akash, but maybe a guy who's doing well. She can lock down another dude and be with someone that she really wants to be with. It just seems to me that she's really not into Akash like that. She's just not. And it sucks, man, but that's the game. That's the game. That's the stuff that Fresh and Fit was talking about. You already heard what Coach Greg Adams talks about, the free agent lifestyle. Rich Cooper was just saying what he was saying. You know, Rolo Tomasi, bro. The list goes on and on and on. It is what it is, man. Don't hate the players. You can hate the game, but don't hate the players. It is what it is. So, you know, shout out to Akash, man. I hope it works for him, bro. It just doesn't look good right now. I think maybe in about a year and a half or so, you'll probably hear like, oh, there's a separation and there's going to be a divorce. And then, you know, Akash will probably be more red pill aware. I think Akash will definitely change his idea on prenups. You know, it's like, oh, if I ever get married again, it's going to be a prenup. But I think he will look at the numbers. What did James Sexton says, like, oh man, people get, divorced, and within what did he say, 8 months or something like that, they get remarried, and then the odds of the second and third marriages working are worse than the first. So, the separation and divorce numbers go higher as the more you get married. Crazy work. So, but I will end with this, man. I hope Akash and his wife work things out and they're able to continue, and they'll be all right and live happily ever after. I hope that happens. Do I believe it's gonna happen? No. I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think this is gonna end in divorce. Akash is gonna lose half his stuff, half his money, half his stuff. And the worst part about all that, he's just gonna be severely heartbroken. Like the woman of his dreams, the only woman he's ever been with, is gonna, probably leave him. And it's gonna be so hard for him to bounce back from that. I hope he does. I hope he bounces back. I hope he becomes one of the best comics ever. I hope he'll be able to turn that pain into laughter, which is what the good comics do and the great comics do well. So that's it. That's the show we got for today, guys. Appreciate y'all rocking out with me. I got to go. My cousin's been calling me, man. I'm looking over at the phone. I'm hoping things are okay. I got to go and talk to my family. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share. Don't forget, in the description below, I've linked 2 of my ebooks. First 2 ebooks I've ever written. I'm going to write a total of 11 to 15 ebooks. All red pill stuff. It's for me, it's fun. Again, the ones I linked below, those 2 are free. Check them out. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on Instagram with any, comments, concerns, or whatever about what we're talking about in these ebooks. And just be on the lookout for them. I'm working on book 3 right now, and that one's gonna be $5. But I forget what the title is on that one, but I got the first 11 already outlined. So I'm gonna start knocking those out and getting those out there. And again, if you're one of my day ones, or when we start the Patreon, those ebooks it will be available to you for free. The first 2 are free, but the rest are gonna be like $5 each. Just trying to raise a little money so I can do some more stuff with this platform. Thanks again for rocking out with me, guys. I'm DL Saint. This is that I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.
Thanks for watching my video. And if you enjoyed that, don't be afraid to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, because every little bit helps. We're trying to grow. We're small over here. Really appreciate your time. And if you enjoyed that video, YouTube thinks you will enjoy this video, or maybe that one. Either way, we'll see you soon. Peace.